this, very important thing that you can do, or that you should start look at, is automation. So in the beginning, when Google just started introducing automation, I was very skeptical because I trusted what I was doing. I've been doing it for years and I know what I'm doing. I don't want to trust a computer to set my bids and things like that. So I was very skeptical. But as we moved along, these machines are getting it's smarter and smarter. And as Kagiso said, Google or all of these companies know so much about us. And to be honest, Google knows more about you than you think. So Google knows what websites you visit. They know what searches you do. So they can pretty much see what your intent is and what your activities are online. Like Kagiso mentioned that something about being pregnant and like the type of searches. So that's all signals that Google pick up on to make sure that we as marketers and we as business owners can get our message and our product and service to the right customer. So on the one hand, it's a bit scary, but on the other hand, I think us as marketers and business owners should take it, use it to our advantage and make sure that we use that wisely. So I'm going to quickly explain to you the types of automated processes that you can use in Google Ads. So for example, one of them is automated bidding. So a lot of times you start up a new account, start up a new Google Ads account, and you don't know what you should bid. Clients always ask me, like, how much does a click cost? I mean, a click can cost anything from R1 to 600-700 Rand. It depends on what industry you're in. So the nice thing with automated bidding is you can let the machine run these things for you. If it's a brand new campaign, there's one option where you can say maximum clicks. So what it will do is, if you've got a daily budget of say 100 or 200 Rand, what it will do is it will make sure that you get as many clicks as possible for that day, for that amount of money that you want to invest. From there, obviously, you will start to gain traction, and you will get people coming to your website. You will start getting conversions. From there, you can move to maybe some of the more advanced automated bidding strategies like maximum conversions. So what maximum conversions will do is it will spend your money where it thinks the chance is very likely for someone to convert. So what it will do is it will pay, like if you would have done normal bidding, you say my limit is 20 Rand a click. So by doing max conversions, you say, I don't care what you pay, as long as you get me the conversions, the maximum conversions for the budget that I've got. So chances are that you might pay 40 or 50 or 60 Rand a click, but chances that it's going to convert is far more likely than otherwise. You can also see a drop in cost per click. What I've seen where maximum conversions, the maximum conversions automated bidding strategy works well is with campaigns that are limited with budget. So sometimes you just don't have enough budget. You only have 100 or 200 Rand a day that you can spend on a campaign, and you can see from that your ad starts running out at around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So what maximize conversions will do then is it will try and spread out your budget more evenly during the day and make sure that if there's no clicks that looks like it's going to convert, it wouldn't spend the money. But if there's possibility and if there's opportunity, it will spend, and sometimes will spend more than your daily budget, but at least you're getting the conversions. What I've also seen with campaigns that's limited, what it sometimes do is just drop the position a little bit, because the price can vary by big margins. If you're on a position 1, say between 1 and 1.5 versus a position 2 or a 3. Positions can vary a lot there. And what I've seen this do is it drops your position a little bit, it gets you more clicks for the day, and with that comes more conversions. It's not always the case, but I've seen it happen a lot. Once you get enough data, you can start using things like target CPA, which is the target cost per acquisition. So if you know I want to pay 250 Rand or 100 Rand or 300 Rand a conversion, you can set that amount in and Google will go and find you leads at that cost. So it will try and with like higher and lower bids and making sure that you get that cost per acquisition. That's why it's so important to have your conversion tracking set up correctly and making sure that you're tracking the right goals. And the more information you give the system, the better it learns. So if you give it, if I can say, crappy information, if you track everything on your website, you're going to give the system or the AI wrong signals. So you really want to show the system what is a true conversion, what it is that you want out of this, so that it can optimize for that. Then there's a couple of other automated bidding strategies that's more related to shopping, and that is when you know the value of the sale or the value of the purchase or the value of the conversion. Like say you've got an online shop and some of your transactions are 50 Rand or 200 Rand or 400 Rand. There's two bidding strategies that work towards that. The one is target return on ad spend, where you can say, I want to spend so much. It's a factor value. We say, I want, based on my ad spend, I want to get this much in return. Then there's also a new one called maximum conversion value, where it will go out and look for the sales or transactions that's of higher value, and not necessarily 5 or 10 Rand or 20 Rand value sales, but bigger ones, 400, 500, 600 Rand. Another automation feature that you definitely need to try if you're not using it already is the responsive ads. So usually in the past, it took us marketers a lot of time to create ads, like write ads, come up with new copy, test new things, wait a couple of weeks, see what worked, then try new ones. So the nice thing with responsive ads is you can create one ad where you specify a certain number of headlines. I usually choose around 9 to 10 headlines, and then with 3 or 4 descriptions. And what it will do is it will mix and match your headlines and descriptions and test it on the go and show you and show your customers or show the people that search different results, and it will see how people interact with these ads. And the ones that are more popular and the ones that people are prone to click on more, it will obviously go higher, or it will get preference, and that way you can optimize like that. So that's definitely something that you need to try, and it also ties in with the conversion information. So when it comes to optimization, a couple of things that you guys need to do. Like, I don't know how your mobile sites look like, obviously you would know, and I think there's a couple of tests that you can do. Does it frustrate you, like what we've seen in some of the videos? And the next thing is speed. So for Google, speed is a very important thing. It's also one, if you look at SEO, which is more based on organic results, it is one of the key factors that Google look at is site speed, and especially mobile speed, because it is growing at such a rapid pace. So one thing you can do is just go to Google and type in test my site, and it will take you to a website. The domain is Think with Google. So you just go there and you put in your URL, and it will give you a result of how fast your website is on mobile from various servers, and it can give you things that you can do to improve it, and to improve the speed, which is very important. There's also a speed impact calculator. So the nice thing is, if you know already how many conversions you get on your website, and you know the value of them, there's a little calculator that you can type that in, and it will calculate if your website loads 1 second or 2 seconds faster, what the impact will be based on a monetary value. Like, how many people are you losing because your site takes too long to load? I don't have a slide on it, but I think if I remember correctly, they say like 53% of people abandon a website, especially mobile, if it takes longer than 3 seconds to load. So if you can get it under 3 seconds, you can get a lot more customers, a lot less frustration for your customers, and more potential clients. The next thing I need you guys to do is, like, if you're in control of your own Google ad campaign, is look at the search term report. So what the search term report is if you go to your keyword level, inside your ad group, if you go into your keyword level, there's a separate tab there that says search terms. So the search terms is the actual terms that people typed in where your ads were featured and when they interacted with it. So if you make use of very broad keywords, chances are that there's going to be a lot of phrases and terms in there that's not relevant to your business at all, and it's costing you additional money. To give you an example, a couple of years ago, I was busy helping the Google guys with a workshop where we helped people that were running their own Google Ads accounts. And there was a lady that she ran a safari business in South Africa, but mostly Botswana. And one of her keywords was Botswana Safari as a broad match. And so what happened was, when I looked at the account, I took the data of the last 3 months, and I did this search term report. And what I saw was a lot of searches came up, or a lot of people clicked on her ads that were searching for self-drive Safari Botswana. And she didn't do self-drive safaris. She only did like luxury stuff. She'll pick you up at the airport, drive you to the lodge, nothing self-drive. So in that 3 months, she spent almost 20,000 Rand on clicks related to self-drive safaris. So if you don't look at these reports and see what searches you actually come up for, you can waste a lot of money, and that money could have been spent elsewhere. So that's why I always say, use broad keywords to do keyword discovery, and you can definitely, from there, you can definitely get more relevant ads as well. You can see different ways people search for your products, and maybe add them to a separate campaign or a separate ad group. But you can also get the negative, you can also add negative keywords, things that's really not related to your business at all. Then there's also the option of, like, we call it negative negatives. Say, for example, your brand is you're an insurer, and people search for the worst car insurance company. You wouldn't want to come up for that in the first spot if someone searched that. So there's a couple of words that you can also just try and put out, or try and filter out before they click on your ads and take your money. So then, to bring it back to brand and the rest of your campaigns, it's very important to own your brand on these campaigns. You must realize that competitors can bid on your keywords. So if you are not actively targeting your keywords or bidding on your keywords, someone else might. You might be in the first position organically, but if you don't have an ad present, you saw how it looked like on a mobile device. You don't even, on that first screen, you don't even get to the organic results. You only see ads. So it's crucial to own your brand and make sure that you come up when someone searches for your brand. I like to use the term, when it comes to search marketing in general and your brand, I like to use the term moment of relevance. There's no other marketing where the moment of relevance is so high than with search. So you can page through a magazine and see nice ads, but you're not always interested in that product. But if you go and you search for a specific brand or product or service, you are looking for them. So that moment of relevance is very high, and you want to be there when someone searches for that. So one thing, when monitoring this, what I can advise you to do is, on your campaign screen, there's an option to view the impression share. So what impression share is, it's basically the impressions that you got on your ad divided by the impressions that you were eligible to receive. So to give you an example, say you're running a brand campaign and you've got an impression share of 60%. It shows you that you only come up for 60% of brand-related terms when people are searching for you. So that's a nice way to gauge where you're positioning yourself in the market. So for brand, that needs to be a lot higher. You want to be at 80, 90, 100%, because you want to make sure you will come up when someone searches for your brand. And then you can see how competitive it is, how competitive your market is with regards to other campaigns, your services or products campaigns. You can see if I'm reaching 20% of the market based on the impression share on the keywords that I've got in there, you can see that there's room for growth, or there's more potential to spend more money. It's a nice way to gauge whether you can invest more in that area or in that specific service. So that is that in a nutshell. I quickly gave you an overview of like what the landscape looks like, gave you an idea on the campaign structure and things to do, things to look at. So I want to close off with another video, just to go through that process again, just to remind you of, go back, look at your websites, look at it critically, and is it easy to make purchases on there, or is the journey that a user will have to face on there frustrating?